What's going on? Welcome back to episode of PvP Legacy. Haven't uploaded in a little bit. I know, 2 weeks. Oh, what have you been doing? Yeah, surely life. No, no, I have like nothing better to do than to make content and play video games all day. I just hadn't felt like creating any content, so oopsie daisy on my end. But I do have an excuse for like 2 of the days that I hadn't uploaded. And my excuse is that I was recovering from my latest adventure. So to give you context, before I go into this whole story, it's not David's birthday, but David wanted to celebrate his birthday with the boys. Unfortunately, not all of us could make it. Pablo couldn't go, so it was just me, David, and Exil. So we all went to Six Flags of all places. Very, very extravagant. Very high life kind of place because I don't know if you know, but Six Flags is expensive. All right, just a bottle of water was $5. $5. That was ridiculous, and it wasn't even good water. It was Dasani. $5 Dasani water bottle. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. Anyway, so we wanted to celebrate David's birthday and have fun. We had the whole day to mess around, go on rides, go see some things, yada yada yada. So let me start the story here. So we walked around for a little bit because when we got there, nothing was actually open. They let us into the park, but nothing was open yet. They hadn't done that. But when the rides did open, we walked around, try to get our bearings, try to see what was available. And the first ride we did was the Cobra. Very simple, very easy. Nothing too difficult. Super easy. Uh, Not much to say. It's a fun ride. We ran it a couple times over and over because it was just a fun, simple ride. Everyone's happy when you go on the Cobra. The next ride, on the other hand, this one was a little bit more different, all right? This one is like going from easy mode to hard mode, all right? You skip normal mode completely, all right? You just straight to hard difficulty. Now this one's a little bit different. This one goes crazy, all right? So you sit down on a seat, you strap in, and then the floor beneath you goes away. So your legs are just dangling in the air. And the worst part about this one for me was that my phone was like lodged into my thigh because of the way I was strapped down, and I couldn't like adjust it so it wasn't like digging into me. But yeah, so my phone was just like crushing my crotch that whole ride, which sucked. Um, but this ride wasn't crazy, but it goes crazy, right? Because I think for the first part of it, I've kind of like trauma blocked it out of me because like this day it started out great, but it didn't end that great. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Anyway, so this ride I believe that kind of starts off very simple as most rides do. They'll take you up a hill and then shoot you down it. So it starts off like that, does some crazy twists and turns, and I'm just kind of just sitting here hanging on for dear life because I'm like, oh boy, am I getting blasted in the face? All right, my eyes hurt now because I'm just getting like destroyed by air. But after the ride, though, my body, or at least my stomach and my head, didn't like it. Not one bit. Like it wasn't like crazy levels, but like my body was not happy at all. All right, my stomach was all like, man, that sucked. Like I had this like my gut was just like, don't ever do that one again. Don't do that again. And my head was like dizzy and like nauseous. My stomach, I wouldn't say I have a weak stomach, but when it comes to like moving super fast, I get nauseous pretty quickly. And my stomach, even like what's the best way to put this? If you ever gone driving and you've like kind of like there's like these little bumps where like because like the road has to like go over like this small canal, but you don't have to slow down for it, so you just small little hill you go over. Yeah, hitting a hill like that, driving over it like that, that makes my stomach hurt. Just like ah kind of feeling in my stomach, and it like goes up to my neck, and it's not a fun feeling, and it's like amplified by 100 on a roller coaster. So my stomach wasn't feeling super great, and I was feeling a little nauseous after that one. And we made the big mistake of going on the Medusa right after. Now, I'm gonna put it plain and simple here, alright? The Medusa put me on my ass, alright? The Medusa destroyed me. It, this was like the turning point. This was like the moment where it's like, oh, okay. This is gonna be very difficult to get to most of the rides, because that was the plan. We had all day, we want to get to most of the rides. Hitting up the Medusa right after the Kong and not taking a small little break, nope. Made it super difficult. So, in terms of difficulty, we went from hard mode to hardcore mode, alright? We're just blasting through difficulties here. And like during the ride of Medusa, I was like doing like some Demon Slayer breathing techniques just to like make sure that I don't like vomit on the ride because my stomach was hurting. Alright. If the Kong was bad, the Medusa just amplified it by another 5 times. It was just, man, did this like I had just terrible gut feelings, just amplified so badly. After the ride, I literally had to sit down, or else I was actually going to throw up, and my head was killing me afterwards. I was super nauseous. I didn't think, that roller coasters could put me down this bad, but I suppose I know. I suppose I know now. I've only ever been on a roller coaster one time, you know, before going to Six Flags, and going to Six Flags was the most amount of roller coasters I've ever ridden in my life. And I'm not sure if I want to keep riding more roller coasters if, this is how my body reacts to them, which is really unfortunate because I really find them a ton of fun. It's like, oh wow, super fast, super this. It's like, wow, this is so fun. There's like a fear factor, but it's like amplified by an excitement factor. So I don't know. I think roller coasters are a ton of fun and great, but my body thinks very very differently. Anyway, after that, when we went on a side or not, sorry, we went towards the Sky Screamer, which based off the name I thought was gonna go absolutely. Sorry, let me say that again. I thought the Sky Screamer was gonna go absolutely wicked. No. All you do is sit down, hold on to some chains, and you lightly spin around in a circle, and then it brings you back down. Very, very easy, very simple. After that, I I had to like take a break. Feeling the effects after the Medusa and after Cog, just I had to take a break. So took a break, took a small break. Xavier got food. I got some water. We did some walking around, did some like really small rides, nothing like super crazy that would like, kill me. Uh, but the next bigger ride, or one of the main rides that we went on, was the Sidewinder. Now the Sidewinder is the best ride by far. Best ride we went on. It was so much fun. It was so goofy and wacky that we ran it like 3 or 4 times because of just how fun and goofy it was. And if Pablo was there, it would have been like so much more fun. It was literally perfect too because it was a 4-seater as well. It was a 4-seater. We all would have been able to get on and just vibe because the gimmick of this ride is that the seats themselves rotate every time it takes a corner. So as it goes up to a corner, the cart would rotate, and then it like rotates some more. So who, for whoever is on like the end seats, which are in my opinion the best seats, it kind of like whips you around, and it's a ton of fun. It's also very painful though, because every time it like whips you around, you're like getting slammed into like the sides. It's fun, but it hurt a little bit. Like my back suffered some minor injuries, but after that one, I was feeling motivated. I was feeling like, you know what, I can do that. I can go on to any ride. Now I was feeling, you know, ambitious, one could say. So the next ride we went on, well, it would spell the downfall for the rest of the day, and it's really unfortunate. So the ride is called the Boomerang, and I didn't notice this until we were in the line that it goes backwards. And I was just talking to Exil about it because roller coasters going backwards is like demonic levels of fun and excitement. That's crazy, all right? Because if simply going forward would kill my stomach and make me super nauseous, going backwards as well just makes it even worse. And I didn't have too long to regret because as we got in, it started basically immediately, but it starts off by sending you backwards slowly uphill and then launching you. So as you're going downhill, you do some loops, some spins here and there. Nothing too bad actually. It was a very short track, but as you reach the end, you go uphill, stop, and then it launches you backwards. Hence the name Boomerang. And yeah, no, that was the end of me. That is where everything went downhill. No pun intended. Stop after the ride stopped. I got out and I felt it. I felt it rise from my stomach up to my throat, and I knew it. If it was coming. I was gonna throw up. I tried my best to stop it. I even did my best to slow down, breathe a little bit. But no matter what I did, it was simply inevitable. So I eventually I threw up after the ride, and I was really upset about it. I still am because I was having fun. The day was fun. I was having fun, and then throwing up like this, really put a damper on all of my fun because even after, I cleaned myself up and we walked around some more and did some more things. We even checked out like a bunch of stores and all that. My head was killing me. All right, I felt nauseous walking around. My stomach felt fine. Like it felt sore after throwing up. I mean, I just like I had like rock solid abs for like the next like 45 minutes, but my head was not. My head was feeling terrible, and it sucked. But we did try to get some food, and oh my god, did the food cost a lot? Or it was like $40 for a burger by yourself. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Too expensive. Way too expensive. Was it good? Not really. I wouldn't exactly say so. It's not like gourmet levels of like carnival food, but it was all right. We did some more messing around, and then it ended up started to sprinkle afterwards, and yeah, I couldn't go on any more rides, and the other Dave and Exil, they want to do other rides, which I was fine. I was like, hey, you guys want to go on some rides? You guys go on some rides, all right? But me, I I can't. I my body is just not gonna let it happen at all. There's just nothing I can do about it. It's really annoying. It's really upsetting because I wanted to go on more rides. I wanted to do more wacky, fun things, but I couldn't. My body was just like, no. Just thinking about going on a roller coaster was starting to make my head spin. So real bummer, real bummer. And then it started to rain, which started closing down some more rides, and then it was just disaster after that. It was just disaster after disaster. I threw up after a ride. I felt super nauseous. It started to rain of all things. Like it was terrible. It was, as Exil said, bad omen. All right, it was just a bad omen. All right, Pablo wasn't here. Pablo wasn't there to enjoy in the fun. Bad omen. All right, should have waited, but after the rain started coming down a little harder, all the rides started closing down, which they did, but they didn't. It was weird. It's like the moment we got there, the rides would close because of the rain, and then the moment we walked away, the ride would be back up and running again. It was, I don't know, it was strange. Anyway, we wanted out. We had our fun, even though it was very limited levels of fun, but we had our fun, before it went bad. as the rain kept coming down, it really put even more spoil on the fun. So we left. We walked over to a closed Starbucks, which we thought was open. Kind of stood around for a little bit, hoping for an Uber to get here. And then once the Uber did here, we went over to like a McDonald's and waited for David's sister to come pick us up. I think we waited for about an hour. I tried to sleep, tried to rest, passed out. Passed out on the ride back home, and then the moment I got home myself, or when we got dropped off, drove home, passed out again. I don't know. It was a very, very long time, or it took a long time just to get back home. Like my legs still hurt from all the walking we had to do, which wasn't much, but man, my legs were killing me for like the past 2 days. But yeah, Six Flags probably won't go back again. You know, it's all about roller coasters, and well, now I know that roller coasters will be the death of me if I so much as attempt to look in one's direction, which is unfortunate because I really think roller coasters are fun. I enjoy them a lot, but my body simply won't allow it. Doesn't like it. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you guys next time.